Hello and welcome. Today we're working on what is the difference between nominal and effective interest rates. Now another way to say this would be the nominal or the APR, the annual percentage rate, or the effective rate. Sometimes we call it the effective annual rate and we abbreviate that EAR. So if you're new, my name's Jeff from Finally Learn. We just teach a lot of financial literacy, a lot of times using Excel. So let's get started. So let's say we have a nominal rate. It's $10,000 at 6%, but then it might be compounded annually or monthly. Well, if that's true, then the effective rate is going to be different. So the nominal rate is just the stated rate without considering compounding. We have to kind of say, by the way, it's compounded however many times. And the effective rate would be, well, it accounts for the compounding, so the more compounding, that number will be larger than the nominal rate. So let's do an example of Fund A and then another fund that does it compounded monthly. So let's say you have Fund A, you invest $10,000 at 6% and it's compounded annually. Well, what we can do is we can take the $10,000 times here 12%. I think my number now is 12%. Let's change that. And so that's 1,200. We can add it to the 10,000 and we get 11,200. Now there's a quicker way of doing this. If I can take the 10,000 times 1 plus or 1.12, that's going to take the 12% of the 10,000 and then we're going to add the 10,000 back. So we're going to take 1.12 and that's going to grow an extra $1,100 to be 11,200. So you earn 12% in Fund A, but the compounding frequency was annual, so just one time. You earn interest just one time, and it's for the whole year. So to calculate the effective rate, let's do the interest. Well, we had 11,200, but we started with 10,000, so we must have earned 1,200. That 1,200 is the 12% times the 10,000, and our original investment is 10,000. So we earned a perfect effective rate of 12%. Now, if we take that 12% compounded annually and make it compounded monthly, we're going to get a little more interest and our effective rate is going to be a little bit higher. So let's do that example. Let's say that we have 12% interest compounded monthly. Now, I'm going to get it started and then we can copy it down. Now, the way that 12% works, if it's compounded monthly, we're going to take 12% divided by 12 months, and we're going to do it 1% per month for 12 months, right? And so we'll take this number, the 10,000, times 1.01. Remember, 12% divided by 12 months, it's just 1% per month. So you earn $100. And then you do it again, the 10,100 times 1.01, the 1% for 12 months, and now you earn 10,201. You earn slightly more than $100. You see you've earned, the difference is $101. Let's do it again, then we'll just be able to copy it down. The 10,201 times 1.01. So you see you're starting to get interest on top of interest, and that's the added benefit of compounding monthly. It's still 12% for the year, but you get 12 periods where it compounds. So you get interest on top of interest, and this is compound interest. So now let's copy it down to month 12, all the way down. The same formula. It's going to take the previous number times 1.01. You see this one down here is the previous numbers times 1.01. Well, now we have 11,268.25 minus the 10,000. So we've earned interest of $12.68.25. Our initial investment is still 10,000. But our effective rate is not just a plain 12%, it's 12% 0.68. So compounding frequency increases the effective rate. So For the very first fund, you got exactly 12%. For the second fund, you got 12.68 is your effective rate. So that's important. Now let's show how we can calculate the difference here. Now what if you're given the annual percentage rate and you want to convert it to the effective rate? Well, here's the formula. What you do is so in our previous example, you would take the 12% divided by 12, you get 1.01. So 1 plus 0.01, that's what we did, to the nth power, so the 12th power, and then subtract 1 and you'll get the 12.68. So let me show you how to do it on Excel. Excel is going to be your friend on this. The function is called effect. So let's say we have 10% for 1 year. Now this is going to be a check figure because 10% compounded annually is going to be 10%. Kind of a trick question, but that's just the way that the math works. So I'm going to use the function here, the formula builder. I'm going to look for the effect. So this gives me the effective rate. Now look, I only need two things. I need the nominal rate and I need the number of periods. So the nominal rate is 10% and the number of periods is 1. And so it calculates, well, that's going to be 10% is our effective rate. Now let's copy it across. What if we change it to 4? I'm going to do it one more time, then I'll copy it across. So this is the effective rate. The effective rate is 10%, but 4 periods per year. And so now we've taken a 10% return quarterly is going to be 10.38. Now if I copied across 12 periods per year, that would be monthly, or 365 would be daily. And you see it increases to 10.47, 10.51, so on. So that's a quick way of getting the effective rate based on the annual rate, the nominal rate, and the number of periods. Well, we can do it the opposite way. We don't really have to do that as often. We can do it the opposite way. We can say, well, what if we have the effective rate and we want the nominal rate? Okay, we're solving for APR, we're solving for the nominal rate. Let's say we have 10.47, 12 periods per year. Well, what's the annual percentage rate? What's the nominal rate? Well, the nominal rate would be what? It would be nominal, the effective rate, the number of periods is 12, and we get exactly 10%. In fact, I just use this number right here. 10% for 12 periods is effectively 10.47, and then 10.47 effective, 12 periods per year, gives you 10% as the annual, the APR or the nominal rate. All right, let's do the same thing let's say we have a 20% effective rate. What's the annual rate? Same thing, we're going to do nominal, and we have the effective is 20% and 12 periods per year, and that would end up being 18.37 would be the annual percentage rate. All right, so this is the difference between the effective and the annual. You can do this if you need to solve for the effective rate, use the effect function in Excel. If you need to solve for the APR, use the nominal. You need to make sure you understand the difference between nominal and effective rate, and your life will be much easier in financial matters. Hey, thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Hey, there's a video right here that I think you'll really like.